started out really working the gate and helping Jordan with all of that kind of stuff. And then it kind of evolved into helping with the VIP people. Let's see, a couple years ago, I started helping with the bands, which was a lot of fun.
So Mom has, the last few years, taken on the hospitality of all of the bands and making sure that they were all fed and taken care of as soon as their bus rolls through here.
And she will get to know every single one of them. All the crew will be sitting back there eating lunch, just chatting it up with her, and they all just talk about all day. You must be Karen's daughter. I met your mom. I just love her. She's just the best. And
my mom has always been, she wants to be the center of attention. I could say that.
She's a big personality.
And so I said, hey, if you want to take care of them. And the good thing was, is since she doesn't like country music, I knew she wasn't going to be a fangirl. So she wasn't going to drive him crazy.
Yeah.
When this all happened, it was just like her dish. Yeah. So she's like, it just kind of happened naturally.
These bands require so much more. They want certain snacks. There's dietary restrictions. You have to know how many to feed. You have to make sure they have water. Make sure they have towels and shower houses. Like, the list goes on and on.
You know, it's really awful to have to hang out with these bands, you know. Not, but especially being a person that loves music so much.
I would say she's one of the most caring people. Anytime somebody has something they're going through, she wants to try to help. Literally anyone. If they're going through a hard time, she's there for them. And she's always been the kind that takes charge on things too. She wants to run operations. So having her there to help plan things, she was a big part from day one.
So it was November 26th, 25th.
She started having some speech problems.
I was struggling with words, and I'm dyslexic, so that made things a little bit more difficult. It was getting a little bit worse and worse, and it just didn't make any sense to me. Why am I having more problems with that? Because I really was doing very much normal things that I would do anyway as having dyslexia, but not like this, not this often.
Words were not coming out like they should, you know.
You're having trouble pronouncing words, you know, we didn't understand what was going on.
Then it just really got quickly bad.
One of her friends called somebody in the family and said that your mom sounds intoxicated, something's not right. I
was asleep on the couch, and he goes, I'm going to take you to the hospital. We're going to the ER. And I said, okay.
Dad and I took her to Aurora to the emergency room and really just didn't know what was going on. So they did a scan. The doctor came in, a family friend, and he said that you have a tumor on your brain. And I don't want to scare you, but this is not good. He's like, we got to get this out. We need to remove this now.
So he said, I'm getting you to Springfield. You're going to have surgery, hopefully tonight. We had been told that the surgery was going to be at 5, and so it took 4.5 hours. Them and all of the kids and so many of my friends and so many of my church family were there waiting.
The surgeon came back and told us what he had discovered, and that it was glioblastoma, and he said this is a rapid growing, non-curable cancer. And those words it's something that I don't think I'll ever forget.
It was the hardest day of my life. I honestly didn't know how I can move past it. I told Josh, I said, I can't go to work. Like, I can't. My focus is this. We went into that not knowing what the future was going to hold. She literally came out of surgery smiling.
To be honest, I didn't even, at that point, feel like she would make it to June. And here we are, and she's getting to do the Stampede with us this year. Like, that was, really, we didn't know what was gonna happen.
She has had the most amazing outlook the entire time. And my dad has been right by her side.
She said, you know, I'm just gonna live every day like it's my last day. And she said, but we should have lived every day like that already. And so just hearing her say that, I was like, wow.
She told me one time, she said, I have the easy part because I know my future. You guys have the hard part because you have to live without me. And that hit me probably harder than anything else. But she's still here. I didn't know she'd be here for the Stampede.
She started doing radiation and chemo, and we took her to Springfield every single day to do her radiation. For weeks we did that. She was taking chemo pills. The whole time I still had her big personality.
I feel like it's made her stronger in her faith. She was like a week after her first brain surgery, she was back up on stage with us singing at church on our praise team. So, and, hands up, sometimes not even singing, just fully, in worship.
10 days later after my surgery, I sang on the praise team at church, and that is one of my, I love being able to be up there worshiping. That was where I wanted to be. It's like I just want to worship God, because that's what we were created to do. I feel like I've been given a gift because people know, so it prompts you to say those things that you should say anyway. And I have said for a long time, we should be intentional, that we need to make sure people always know how we feel about them, that we love them and hug on people, and that's just how it should be, because we don't know when our last day is.
Here we have someone who has lived a very faithful life. Then you get this diagnosis that, hey, within maybe 2 years, you won't be here anymore. You won't get to see your grandkids anymore. And instead of that bringing her down, it brings her up. I'll never forget praying with her in the hospital, and she said, I can't wait to see Christ's face. When you have struggles, there is a bigger captain of the ship. And look where Karen's at. She is turning it all over to God, every bit of it. And that's what you need to do. That's what we all need to do. That's what we're supposed to be doing here.
There's a song by Micah Tyler, and basically the lyrics say, I want to be different. You want to be the change so that someday when I'm gone, all that remains is the fire inside that only God puts there. And that's how I would explain my mom. That's exactly her mission. She wants to be able to show people, this is where my faith got me. I may have this diagnosis, but it's not the end. And I am changed, and that you can't give up that faith.
If there's anybody there on Wednesday night wants to know more about Jesus, or feels like God is calling them to and speaking to them, I'm here. I want to be available to talk to people about Jesus, whatever they, or if they just want to share something or whatever. I always want to be available to anybody at any time, anywhere. So this year I got to slow down on some stuff, but still going to be definitely taking care of the bands, because that's the fun stuff. They're going to let me just do the fun.